Hello everybody, Gamer Penny here, bringing you another episode of our Final Fantasy XIV online Let's Play, and we are back with Vesper and Wing Sauce, and today we're going to continue on Ultima Thule. So, let's do this real quick. Northeast. Ultima Thule. Hello, Urianger. I want to go get this northeast to the north. Okay, right up here. I want to get this first. Okay. The southeast. To the east. Is it up there, maybe? Northwest. Aha! Northwest. We'll have to get that one later. Let's go back and talk to Urianger. Just run off there. Nope. Were it not for the violet crystal embedded in its surface, 'twould appear as an ordinary stone. A curious script had been etched upon them. Alas, it is not a language with which I am familiar. I cannot say I recognize it either. Nor I. The dragons, from what I recall, preserved their knowledge in song and eschew the written word entirely, so we may assume this is the work of another race, one we have yet to encounter. Medion claimed the dragon's world suffered a slow death, seeking the release of oblivion. What life we find here, like as not, doth wend its way towards a similar end. What do you suppose is over there? I'm not sure. It's hard to make out at this distance, but its surface seems to bear the same crystals as this monument. Meaning there's a chance we may find whoever built them both. We should go and have a look. Come on. Alright. Let's go over that way. Want us to go in here. Hollow of the Flesh. Don't. Ghostly figure. Hail, travelers. This is a most unexpected occurrence. Oh, hello there. Is this your home? Indeed it is. Ah, forgive me, I had forgotten. An exchange of introduction is expected when first meeting those with whom one is unacquainted. What the heck? When the vibration of vocal folds was still required to convey our thoughts and intention, Ea, I believe, was the pronunciation used when referring to our people. Though it is not entirely applicable given our present state, you are welcome to use this appellation. As for nomenclature to address my individual person, I believe it would be pronounced Kafkugd. Yes, Kafkugd of the Ea. We have encountered beings that communicate intermittently through thought, but never one that is wholly without voice. I presume we are having this conversation via the medium of aether, or dynamis, as this space is suffused with vast quantities of it. Fascinating in either case. I gather your response to my presence is positive, then. That is well, for there is something I wish to ask of you. Like yourselves, we Ea are aether-based life forms, therefore it may be surmised that your bodies are of comparable biological composition to those we once possessed. I have a number of queries regarding your subjective perception of the 5 senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. In total, I've prepared 198,712,180,827. That's rather a lot, isn't it? My apologies. I've omitted a great many details necessary to understand the nature of my request. Though we dispensed with our corporeal vessels long ago, we have rediscovered a need for the flesh, and have endeavored to recreate our erstwhile forms. However, all pertinent records have been lost due to the passage of time. Take, for example, the nervous system. It is well within our power to recreate, but we have no frame of reference for sensations once experienced by our people, which may compromise our ability to interact with our physical environment. And the reason you need to regain corporeal forms? Why, to bring an end to our existence, of course. Though need is perhaps too strong a word, it would be a simple matter to unmake ourselves through use of etheric exsanguinators, but such a death seems inadequate. The traditionalists among us believe proper death requires an inescapable sense of impermanence in one's final moments, an experience found only with bodies of flesh. We should very much like to hear more of your plans. In exchange, we will answer any questions you have to the best of our ability. Such an exchange of information would indeed prove useful. Very well. To ensure efficacious exchange, I hereby invite you to our home. Yes, the abode of the Ea, where we traditionalists prepare for our demise. I presume your consent to answer questions is indicative of a tacit approval of our plans? In which case, your cooperation is greatly appreciated. I must caution you, however, we are, to be mindful of the Ea wandering the desert. Their desire for bodies of flesh could be described as overzealous. Now, if you would follow me. This is going rather smoothly, not that I'm complaining, mind. Even so, we mustn't forget their aim is oblivion, much like the dragons. Though I fail to see why a civilization so seemingly advanced would choose to unmake all they have created. At any rate, we will find no answers dallying here. Let us be on our way. Okay. Northwest. I'm gonna real quick try to find this other aether current. The sooner we can fly in here, the better. To the north. Hello, other player that I thought was a creepy human being. Northwest. There it is. We will get this. Okay. Not another one around here, is there? 404 to the east. Okay. Northeast. The north. Go up here and see if we can find it. Northeast. There it is. Okay, what now? The east, some more. Okay. We will, since we're here, might as well gather this. .375 to the east. Alright, Kufkud. Welcome to our abode. Most of our compeers, you will find, remain idle in their domiciles, though your quizzical expressions indicate my phrasing is unclear. I speak, of course, of the violet crystalline constructs hanging from the stone structures here. You say they remain idle, but what of your work to regain corporeal bodies? An astute question, and understandable given your finite nature. We have no desire to pursue our research, for it is no longer necessary. If in our idleness we are struck by sudden inspiration, we rise to pursue said inspiration to its conclusion. That is why I present for your arrival, and why I continue to engage with you still. But while the others are not currently in a motile state, rest assured they would not object were you to disturb their respite. You need only cast your thoughts towards one of the crystalline domiciles to communicate. Okay. Someone else is over here doing, Endwalker stuff. Two people are. You cast your thoughts towards the crystalline domicile, but there is no response. You wish to speak? Very well, pray a moment if you would. Okay. Why we seek our end, you ask? If you wish to know, I will tell you. Just a moment, I must remember. What form did I take when last I emerged? Arg. Strange moaning comes and goes, but soon fades into silence. Alright, Cuff Cooged. Poof Cooged. Cuff Cooged. Did your inquiries yield satisfactory responses? I see. If they failed to answer, then it is likely because their minds have unraveled due to prolonged idleness. They are not but concentrated aether now. Worry not, there are no others who have need of those lodgings, and they will not prove a hindrance to remain as they are. More importantly, you said some few did answer your request for an audience, yes? I imagine they will be with us ere long. Flesh abandoned. I had no luck, but everyone else fared well enough. Quite a few Ea have awakened. Ah, there they are. May I introduce you, Lalek, Dudek, and Nenegd. It has been too long, Kofkogged. I dare say Saturn IV has since completed an orbit. Indeed, until the travelers brought it to my attention, I hadn't noticed how unraveled some had become. Travelers? Ah, of course, the ones who wish to know why we seek to regain corporeal forms. The truth of the matter is as plain to see as the neighboring systems, but my single account would fail to satisfy the requirement for scientific objectivity. Thus did I bid them awaken you. Am I the only one who struggles to tell who is speaking? Nay, thou art not. In the absence of corporeal forms and the divergence they afford, mayhap such similarity in voice is unavoidable. By the way, Kufkug, have you already observed the requisite custom for travelers? That which one is expected to do when receiving guests, a matter of proper form? Ah, yes, so long has it been it had completely escaped my mind, and still does. What was it again? I can't seem to remember. Why do you do that? Neither do I. Pity. I was hoping you would. Perhaps we can search the archives for the answer. Now, Neneg. The archives have long been frozen, lest we subject ourselves to further dolor. Surely you recall that much. Of course. Food. The custom is to serve food. Beings of flesh such as they must regularly replenish their aether. By contributing to their replenishment, we communicate our friendly intention. That's right. We duly invite you to join us as in communal repist, after which we may engage in leisurely conversation. If we have a chance to learn something, then I see no reason to decline. Excellent. If you would care to follow, we shall feast you on the purest aether. Alright. Kufkuged. This facility is where we replenish our aether. There is no particular name for it, but we traditionalists sometimes use the word restaurant. Now then, if you would take your place with your comrades, the space will soon be awash with purest aether. Please absorb as much as you like. This is their restaurant? You brace yourself for a rush of sweet, sweet aether, but nothing seems to happen. Perhaps you need to wait a little longer. You brace yourself again, but again, nothing seems to happen. Just as I suspected, as meticulously as one might recreate the Aya's home world, this is Ultima Thule. One cannot simply generate aether here. As recreations, our friends are oblivious to this fact, to the very truth of their existence, much like the phantoms of the recreated Amarat. However appearances may seem, we must ever be mindful that it is the memories of the dead with whom we deal. So, did you have your fill of aether? Alas, we couldn't absorb it. A deficiency in our forms, it would seem. Oh, how very unfortunate. May I ask how you normally replenished your aether? Through your mouths, you say? How very primitive and quaint. To think that their mouths serve not only to expel sound, but draw in sustenance besides. Such life forms have long since vanished from our systems. Though we regrettably could not partake in your magnificent feast, rest assured we feel your welcome most keenly. In the course of acquainting ourselves with your sophisticated ways, however, we could not fail but wonder, wherefore do you wish to obtain vessels of flesh and thence to vanish? Will you not favor us with an explanation? Your flesh and blood beings are always so hasty. It does have its charm, however. Very well, we shall indulge you. In the beginning, when the Eos yet possessed corporeal bodies, our ancestors dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge and technological advancement. By transcending all limitations, we believed we would eliminate sorrow and abide in true happiness. From the tangible such as land to the intangible such as labor, there exist myriad hindrances to progress. But the most confining of all was the flesh itself. Our natural lifespan was distressingly middling, you see. Too short to enjoy unhurried lives, yet too long to be considered disposable. Furthermore, to simply maintain the integrity of our bodies demanded considerable resources. But we managed to solve this problem. After long years, we discovered how to become non-corporeal entities with everlasting lives, untroubled by the failures of flesh. Thus changed, we had more time and freedom to continue our scientific pursuits. We went on to make ever greater strides in our quest to transcend all limitations, until we finally decided to challenge the last of them all, the limit of knowledge. That is to say, deciphering the laws of creation. We sought to discover how the universe came into being and explain all extant phenomena, and thence predict the future. If we could but achieve this, we believed that we would be free from uncertainty and anxiety. And did you find the answers you sought? Yes, we did. Our efforts revealed to us a fundamental truth. Knowledge of said truth is essential for the continuation of our conversation. If you would learn more, we will share it with you. No, we mustn't. Primitive as they are, it would be unspeakably cruel to deprive them of their ignorance. They are possessed of corporeal forms, their lives readily ended. As those who have gone before, is it not our duty to warn them? What thinkest thou? We have deliberated and come to a consensus. If you are resolved to know it, we will disclose to you the truth we discovered, the truth of the universe. Seek us at the stone pillars just outside the bounds of the abode, a place called Elegia. fundamental truth. We will hear it, of course. Let us learn what has led such an enlightened people to this indolent end. Ere we join the Ea, there is one trifling matter I would fain investigate. Vesper Grahatia, might it trouble you for your assistance? But of course. My thanks. We shall head outside the abode, if you would kindly follow me. I know not what mischief you are plotting, Urianger, but I trust you have our best interests at heart. The rest of us shall go on ahead to Elegia. Lest you worry, we won't start without you. Alright. Where are we with this? Northeast. We're going the opposite way. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right. How far did Urianger go, man? Okay, bud? Alright, this place shall serve. Is it the spring that you wish to investigate? Pray forgive me, my friends, but there is naught to investigate. 'Twas but a pretense to speak in private. You have our undivided attention. As we have established here in Ultima Thule, those denizens of ruined stars are recreated in their twilight days. Yet one question doth arise in my mind. So faithfully formed are the simulacra, they believe themselves yet amongst the living. How dost thou suppose this is possible? Medion made contact with them while they still lived. Of course. She must have visited the stars of the dragons and the Ea before either race perished in their entirety. Thus could she make their emotions her own, and with them create more faithful simulacra than had she relied on any historical account. So too did I theorize, and upon that assumption consider how those two races may have met their demise. According to thine own tale, Medion perceiveth the emotions of those nearby as her own, a heightened sense of empathy intrinsic to her nature as an entelechy. In the course of her starfaring journey, if she encountered beings who strongly desired a cessation of their existence, she would be powerless before that desire. Even as she possesseth the power to grant it, the power of Dynamis. 'Tis my supposition that, overwhelmed by their longing for death, Medion did unleash Dynamis and ushered the dragons and the Ea unto their doom. Of course, such was not always the outcome. Full many stars did she find already lost to ruin. In order to create a terminus, however, the fervent desire for the end is essential. Therefore, should you struggle to find the way forward, pray ask yourselves this. In the place where you stand, whose is the soul that yearneth most desperately for oblivion? Why do you tell us this now? Ne'er again would I betray your trust. This pledge I did make to my comrades. In bringing thee into my confidence, I would remain true to my word. As for thee, let us consider it my fitting reward for the secrets I harbored for the Crystal Exarch. I once placed my faith in thy chosen path, walking at thy side, full knowing that we were bound for thy demise. I ask now that thou returnest the favor, and abide in faith as I fulfill mine own destiny. If you say my debt has come due, how am I to refuse? 'Tis indelicate of me, I know full well, and I can but beg thy forgiveness. Yet even if I must needs go to such lengths, I cannot well feign ignorance of the answer I have found within. The answer to the question, in what moment might I stand strongest? After all we've been through, I will say only this. Do what you must. Do what you must and see your conviction through. I shall, my friend. I shall. Without further ado, then, let us go and join our comrades. He's gonna sacrifice himself. Hurry on, Jay. Raha, you okay? Let us be off too. To Elegia. This game. I tell you what. I tell you what. Alright, let's find this place. Hello, friend. Elegia. It's me? Stola. Seems everyone is accounted for. Shall we then?
Please continue. Tell us about this truth you discovered.
Very well. Bear in mind, however, that the purpose of this conversation is not to impart scholarly knowledge, for such requires that you comprehend the subject matter, which you will not. We will forego the intricacies of our scientific methodology and deal only with the conclusion, the end of our society and our world. We acknowledge, with regret, that your star is in the midst of the same panic-induced cataclysm that befell Deneb-3.
Deneb-3.
As such, in order to avoid causing undue distress, we will refrain from explicitly stating how much time you have remaining.
You are entirely too kind. I pray you recount your tale as you see fit.
Stupid head.
In the beginning, the universe was but a tiny particle. Then suddenly, this particle began to expand. Having remained entirely in the bounds of your star, the phenomenon may be difficult for your kind to grasp. But this expansion has since continued unabated. Speculating that the universe could not grow indefinitely, we sought to learn what might occur, and made a worrying discovery. The stars will continue to spread apart, as will their finite thermal energies. Eventually, all heavenly bodies will grow cold and freeze. No new stars will be born, and the universe will enter onto an eternal ice age. In hopes of proving that this determination was erroneous, we scrutinized our research from all angles, even as we sought to avert the everlasting winter. The endeavor proved fruitless. So infamously so, in fact, that it became synonymous with vain effort. The universe as we know it would end, and there is no way to prevent it. Beneath the weight of this knowledge, our society stagnated. Though we had time still, it was a cold comfort. Why strive for anything when desolation is assured? When our wealth of wisdom, accumulated since the dawning of our kind, would be forever lost, no civilization would rise from our ashes, no scholar recover our knowledge. In silence unbroken, naught would stir. Intellect was once our pride. Overnight, it became our shame. Our works, monuments to futility. Immortality, our greatest invention, became a source of suffering. Rather than suffer on, many chose to unmake themselves by means of etheric exsanguinators. Etched upon these stones are the testaments of such souls, though many left no words at all, thinking it a pointless gesture. Once we have obtained vessels of flesh, we likewise intend to vanish. If you understand this, understand aught of our tale, you will abandon your quest for knowledge. Ignorance truly is bliss. If you would cling to your illusory happiness, remain primitive and pure. It is the only way.
Ishtola.
So that's your story.
Like, her whole thing is quest for knowledge.
While I appreciate your advice, I will not heed it. Convinced though you may be of this truth, it is yours and not mine. Indeed, truth, I have ever believed, is in the eye of the beholder.
Are you suggesting that we have reached a faulty conclusion? That our science failed us?
Hardly. As you yourself said, the subject matter is beyond my comprehension. And that, I accept, is true. I do not possess the knowledge to prove or disprove your conclusion. In my mortal years, I doubt I could even approach the wisdom of the air. But of one thing am I absolutely certain. I would not be happier in ignorance.
Ishtola, no! You mustn't!
The most important lesson I've learned is that learning isn't simply passing one's eyes over words. Nay, it is when understood for oneself that knowledge attains its true value. This is what has sustained me. driven me onward in joy and wonder, in anger and sorrow. The universe may end, and all may be for naught, but I will live as I always have. I will always seek out new knowledge, and no conclusion of yours, no matter how grim, can dampen my desire.
I suppose it is only to be expected. Their feeble minds cannot fathom the terrifying gravity of it all.
Turning.
But worry not. We consider it our duty to enlighten you, and we will not stop until you grasp the full extent of our despair.
Keep calm and listen well. Though my body will soon dissipate, there may be a way to restore it. Asm's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back. But you mustn't, for it would mean losing our way forward. This I only reveal so that you can promise not to invoke the magic. We came here knowing what victory may cost, so press on. Press on, and do not look back.
I shall join thee. As subterfuge is not required, thou shalt not suffer for mine absence.
Hurry on, Jay.
Mariange.
My resolve hath never been as strong as thine. Full oft have I wavered in my decisions, and afterwards been stricken with regret. In spite of this, I may still stand with my comrades, supporting them as they attempt the greatest of feats. This truth I have learned in the course of our journey. And many though my shortcomings may be, I may also claim to excel in prophecies. My studies, into which have granted me the flexibility of mind needed to bend this malleable reality. Thus shall I hope that thou mayest have the strength to resist, and our comrades the strength to continue.
With you to urge us on, how could we possibly fail?
Aw.
What's this? An extinguished civilization. Rekindled?
That's right. Our quest doesn't end here. We'll press on, and we will find you.
There. That's where you'll find me.
Is that another star?
Of the stars we visited, most were already devoid of life. And where there was life still, the inhabitants wished for death. But even death, we learned, isn't truly the end. It is but a part of the cycle of rebirth. Souls return to the star, or in its absence, a larger flow. And eventually they are reborn, alive again, to know suffering anew. True salvation lies not in dying. It lies in not being born. This is the gift I would give to you. To all life on beautiful Aetheris. To that end, we created an egg wherein life cannot quicken. That dead sun. Attain it if you can, before your friend's emotions fade away, along with their protection.
So she's in that egg, huh? Alright. Another sacrifice. 2 sacrifices. Okay, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap up here. Guys, when we come back, we'll talk to Grahatia. And we'll continue on. Whoops. So guys, I want to thank you so much for all of your support on this series. If you do want to see more of the Final Fantasy XIV online Let's Play, make sure to leave a like or subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Alright, bye-bye everyone.